Hello, BookTube. It's time for Friday Reads. I haven't done a Friday Reads in a couple weeks, so I do apologize for that. There aren't too many books, but we'll do basically it's almost a 2 week reading, and it hasn't been very good for a variety of reasons. My sleeping, well, I don't sleep, or I haven't slept since COVID, but my awake hours have been really curtailed in the last couple of weeks. So I've gone from about 5 hours, 5 to 7 hours ish of sort of enough wake to almost just 2 to 3. So I haven't been able to read much. But I started last week the rereading Hyperion by Dan Simmons, a science fiction novel written in 1989, and then followed it up by the sequel, Fall of Hyperion, and published in 1990. They're originally meant to be a single novel, but the publisher thought it was too big, so it was split up into two. And I also read a couple sort of earlier short stories that are related to Hyperion as well from a collection. Then I went on to begin a series of crime novels that I've wanted to read for a while now. It's the Mitford murders. It's about the Mitford sisters, written by Jessica Fellows, and this is the Mitford murders, Six Sisters, A Lifetime of Mystery. And written by, as I say, Jessica Fellows in 2017, or published 2017. Jessica Fellows is, you might recognize the surname, is the niece of Julian Fellows. He wrote the screenplay for Gosford Park, and the creator and writer for Downton Abbey. And Jessica Fellows has written a number of books on the sort of background or the social aspects of Downton Abbey. I've not read any of those, but I thought I'd read this because I was interested. I've been interested in the Mitford family for a while, so I thought this would be kind of interesting, and I enjoyed it. But after reading it, I read a few reviews. Excuse me, it's extremely hot here. I've had to turn the fan off, and just in literally minutes, I'm dripping with sweat. But yeah, so I read some reviews, and they clearly have read a completely different book than I did. They all said, like, I've read about 5 reviews, and they all said it's steeped in deep period detail. And it's like, no, it's not. There's hardly any period detail in here at all. It's hardly anything at all. You wouldn't know it's set in 1919 or Christmas 1919 up until Christmas ish or beginning of 1922. You would hardly know. It's very, very little that makes you think that, other than her giving dates, which is not period detail. It, like I say, I enjoyed it, and I will continue with the other books. But to me, it's just a run of the mill mystery, when it could have been a lot more. She's written it like very short chapters, and it's written as if it's already set up to be a screenplay. Because I just got the impression that these are just so short scenes, and then move on, and that's where like there wasn't much in the way of or zero description of the locale or the building, the house, or anywhere that they were. And she uses some real events, like she bases this on a real murder of a basically Florence Nightingale's goddaughter was murdered on a train, and her murder was never solved in reality. So Jessica Fallows takes a friend of hers that I don't know the full details, but it's like she pins the murder on another real person, and then turns that person into her lesbian lover. So I just sort of wonder, well, if there's any descendants, they sort of wouldn't be maybe too happy that their grandmama has been turned into a murderer and possibly a lesbian that she wasn't. So I just found that very odd. And there is I think, a glaring mistake in here. Again, I never saw this with the um, in any of the reviews. Uh, like they're sort of amateurs trying to figure this out, and so, as usual, jump to conclusions, run with it a bit, and then find out things didn't happen that way. And use they point that out most almost on every occasion. So there was an occasion here where they get the information where a woman in a I won't give really try not to give too much away, but a woman in a fur coat visits somebody, and they think that is the murdered woman, the woman in the fur coat, and the guy she visits, he then goes and murders her a few days later. Okay, but they don't know when this happened, so and then all these twists and turns at the end that they just it's quite unbelievable, like too much, trying to change things up and be surprise ending and stuff. But anyway, that's another bit of an issue. But but it turns out that it wasn't the murdered woman that went to see him. It was the murderer, who went to see this guy. And then she accused him of or no, well, she wants blackmail, and say, I'm going to go to the police and say you did the murder if you don't give me more money. Okay, well, they had clearly stated before, and they were running with the whole storyline that it was her, the murdered woman. So how could she have saw her before murdered? And yeah, so it just, and that wasn't cleared up. That was not cleared up at all. So to me, that is a bit of a mistake in the storyline. But again, I never saw that mentioned anywhere, because it's like they covered they covered the tracks for all the others. Uh, Lots of sirens going by this morning. So they covered their tracks by explaining how they were mistaken with everything else except that one. So yeah, but yeah, I will read on. I think there's a fifth one coming out, so I'll read on, and we'll see what happens. But I'm disappointed in it. I would say it's like she's clearly writing. She's not a great writer. I don't think so anyway. There's no color in it. There's no detail. Next book has more detail in like a paragraph than the whole book did. Even though it's like, well, it's a contemporary novel of when it was written, more or less. But anyway, it's going to be my next book to film, which is Booth Tarkington's The Magnificent Ambersons. It was published in 1918. It's basically the about the Amberson family, and three generations of the Amberson family, and a really horrible, disgusting, boy that grows up to man. I'm over halfway through. I've got about 100 pages to go. and it's like, you know, you really, and like even the characters talk about, oh, they really want to see him, his, even when he was a kid, to get his comeuppance, and he wants somebody to kick him in the butt, you know, just to, you know, wake him up, and it never happens, sadly. But he might get it later. Well, I won't spoil it at the moment. But was the basis. The book is the basis for Orson Welles' 1942 film, The Magnificent Ambersons, and that had a troubled um, road to, you know, the cinema, basically. But yeah, so that is my Friday reads. It's fairly slim for 2 weeks. As I say, I've only got maybe 2-3 hours that I like. You know, if I'm lucky, 2 hours to read per day now. So I'm not getting a lot of reading done. About half, if I'm lucky, and doing other things as well. So yeah, so that is it, and I won't be. It won't be Saturday. It won't be tomorrow because I won't be finished this, or nor be able to watch the film. So it will be next Saturday, which is, I'm not sure the date. So because tomorrow is the 24th, Saturday 24th, so a week after that. So I guess that's actually in August. Is that in August already? Will we be in August? Uh, a week after. Come on, waiting for the calendar to open up. It takes forever. Um, no, almost. It'll be the 31st. So, yeah, I'll be able to do this on the 31st, and hopefully, I'll have some other books that I've read as well. But yeah, so I hope everybody's doing well, and as I say, my reading is quite curtailed, but still doing as much as I can, and hopefully it'll spring back, and just hopefully this heat will dissipate shortly. It's not so bad outside, but inside it just winds up to be 10 to 15 degrees hotter inside, and it takes days and days and days for it to cool down if it actually changes outside. But anyway, as I say, I hope everybody's doing well, and and thank you for the new subscribers over the last couple weeks. I've had quite a few new subscribers, so welcome, and I hope you enjoy the content of the channel. And if you have any questions or comments of this or any other videos, please feel free to sound out in the comments. Till next time, BookTube. Take care. Bye.